In this video 6.2 we're going to be looking at simplifying algebraic expressions. By the end of the video and work time in class you should be able to say, I can simplify algebraic expressions. A term is a number, a variable, or the product of numbers and variables. And what we're going to be doing with terms is we're going to look at them and see if they are like terms, and if you have like terms you can combine them. So once again, any number, just a number or just a variable by itself, or a product, which means you multiply numbers and variables, those are terms. And when you have like terms, that's when you have terms with the same variable and exponent. Here is, this would be called an algebraic expression, where in the expression it looks like we have a total of 5 terms. 3 is a term because it's just a number. Any number is a term. 4y is a term because it's a product where you're multiplying 4 and y. The opposite of x is a term. It's a variable with a coefficient, the number in front, that's a -1. 7y is a term. It's a product multiplying 7 and y. And x squared is a term because it's a variable raised to a power. So it's like x times x. Now in these 5 terms, we could put 2 of them together, which means we can combine them in math. That would be adding or subtracting. So if we look at these terms, 4y and 7y are like terms. Now going back up to what like terms are, it's where you have the same variable and the same exponent. See, we have a y, which here is raised to the first power, you just don't see it, and another y. Since they both have y's to the first power, we can put them together. You see it says a +4 and a +7, so that means we're going to do 4 plus 7, which is 11, and 4y plus 7y gives you 11y. Now when we simplify this expression, we still have 3, and then it's plus because it's a positive 11, y minus x, and then plus x squared. Because see, we couldn't combine any of those other terms together because they weren't like terms. Some people look, well, how about the opposite of x and the x squared? Could we put them together? No, because one has an x to the first power, the other one has an x to the second power. Not only does the letter, the variable, have to be the same, the exponent has to be the same as well. Here are some more examples of what like terms would look like. -5 and 8 are like terms because they're both numbers, and 2 numbers you can combine by adding or subtracting. 2x and -3x are like terms because they both have an x. 2x squared and -3x squared are like terms because they both have an x squared. 2xy and -3xy are like terms because they both have xy. So in a problem, we could combine these examples by adding or subtracting. Here are some examples of not like terms. -5x and 8 are not like terms. One of them has an x, the other doesn't. 2x and -3y, not like because one's x, one's y. 2x squared and -3x, not like terms because one is raised to the second power, the other one is raised to the first power. 2x and -3xy. Now they both have an x, however only one of them has the y, the other one doesn't, so you could not combine them. You couldn't combine any of these by adding or subtracting. We're going to do some examples. 8p plus 13p plus p. We can combine all 3 of these terms together because they all have a p to the first power. So we look at the number in front of the variable, which is called the coefficient. 8 plus 13 plus, this is a 1. So 8 plus 13 plus 1 gives you 22p. -13c plus c. They both have a c raised to the first power, so we have -13 plus 1, which gives you -12c. 4y minus 7 plus 8y. Out of these three terms, we can combine these two because they both have a y to the first power. 4y plus 8y gives you 12y minus 7. 1 minus 6 times parentheses the quantity b minus 9. Now in this problem, whenever you see parentheses, you want to get rid of those parentheses first by distributing, making a rainbow. You're multiplying now. This isn't a 6 in front that you're multiplying everything by. It's really a negative 6 because there's a minus sign in front of the 6. So we have 1, and then we do negative 6 times b, which is negative 6b. Then we do negative 6 times, now this isn't 9, it's really a negative 9 because the minus in front. Negative 6 times negative 9 gives us a positive 54. Now we look at these three terms. We can combine the 1 and the 54 together because they're numbers. So you can add or subtract two numbers. So 1 plus 54 gives you 55. And then we still have negative 6b. Can you say, I can simplify algebraic expressions? Here's your output to do in your notebooks. Be prepared with any questions for the work time in class.